guys, what's going on? It's Brian coming to you from the TST Garage with another episode of our Superbike build series regarding the Yamaha R3. This is episode 3. We're going to be touching on our bodywork that just came in from our painter. We're very excited to see that. Bart's going to bring that over right now, and we're going to unbox it for the first time on camera with you guys watching. Let's check it out.
All right. Got your blade. Your blade. Adam spent some time on this thing. I actually got two sets, but we're going to take a look at one first. This is a full CRC kit, same kit that we sell. Obviously, it's converted to our colors.
Wow. Looks like we got belly pans.
Go. Got hit and shipping here. I'm gonna buff it out.
His line work though, man, very impressive.
Good. Now we have to get Sergio to cut all the vinyl elements and sticker this thing up with all our sponsor logos and whatever else is going on there, and race numbers. Wow, pretty nice.
Yeah, man, not bad. Especially with working on the CRC, since they come black, it does make it a little bit harder.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
grew up that. So the color scheme is essentially the same as we ran last year in our Supersport. We just changed a couple things on them. And the Supersport, ridden by Alex Ferreira, is going to get number 5 this year. He's going from 642 to number 5. I'm staying at 129. Nice.
I didn't notice Alex decided to switch it up.
Well, he didn't decide. He 1 through 5 is reserved for people that get the most points out of the whole season. So he worked for it. Adam Wingard. He's the guy who painted these. He's one of our racers actually. He's up in Pennsylvania. He races an R6 all up and down the East Coast. And he also does some pretty good paint work. So thanks, Adam.
Wrapped up. Yeah, I just cut the tape. I think I should be alright. Yeah, there we go.
You hold your wrap.
Thanks. Got our last corner there. Very nice.
Alright, there we go.
We did forget one very cool piece that is actually gonna save us a little bit of weight too. Got a very nice carbon fiber front fender that we do actually retail on our website as well. That is something you'd want to pick up for your bike. But this does actually shave off a surprising amount of weight over that OEM plastic front guard. This, I believe, I didn't weigh it just yet, but it feels nearly half a pound lighter, if not a little bit more. Well guys, like I said before, in Superbike building, every ounce counts, and that's why we're throwing some very expensive components on this bike. You'll see as we carry on through this build series, this is going to be a pricey little project, but I think it will definitely be worth it. I'll catch you guys in a few minutes. We're going to weigh the harness, talk about some other areas that we're talking about some more weight reduction. Alright guys, so here we are with our now edited Superbike R3 harness. Bart really went through this. He investigated what we would need. He had a huge board laying out, as you guys probably saw, where he traced down every single circuit and actually really went in through the entire harness and took out the leads, the wires, the plugs, the relays, anything that we didn't need. And that equated to 1.5 pounds of weight savings, which personally I thought was absolutely huge. I thought maybe we'd do away with 1/4 pound in just extra plugs and connectors, but yeah, 1.5 pounds from just this harness alone. I think that is a huge advantage over having the stock one in there. Eliminating some of those things makes it actually easier for us to get this bike running. In terms of starting the bike, we no longer have to have the bike in neutral or have the kickstand switch up, because we obviously don't have a kickstand on our Superbike. So things like that have been totally done away with, making this harness an awesome addition. If you guys want to follow me, we're going to go head towards Bart's office and we're going to look at what he's doing with the triple tree on this bike.
All right guys, this segment will be coming at you from the engineering department. You've already seen us modify the frame, do some modifications to the electrical harness system on the bike, some other odds and ends that we've been starting to slowly show you. There's a lot of stuff that's actually going on. We'll capture all that later. For now, let's focus on the triple clamp from the R3. This is a system on this bike that is severely under-engineered. Comes in at just over 6 pounds. It is made of cast steel lower, a steel tube that's been machined to have threads on it, welded in and pressed into this guy. And then it gets welded from the bottom. And the top triple is a cast alloy of sorts, probably some dirty aluminum. There's a lot of pitting in it. I'm not totally dissatisfied with the performance of these components on the bike. They don't flex all that much, but that's probably because they're so heavy and thick and chunky. This weighs 6 pounds, it doesn't need to. Superbike triple clamps could weigh as little as 2.5 pounds. You add some bearings, you're just below 3 pounds. So this is what I'm shooting for with my new design. I have designed a system that will replace this on the bike. It is made of 6061 billet aluminum clamps and a 7075 aluminum spindle. We will be replacing the regular ball bearings with these tapered bearings from All Balls. These are really nice. They eliminate some of the play in the top tube assembly with these components, and they're just a little bit lighter. That's not a big consideration for this design, but if we're replacing all this stuff, we might as well throw the good stuff in there, and it's not expensive. This kit was like 30 bucks or something. So let me show you guys what I've done. Up on my screen, you'll see the assembly of my triple clamp system. I've designed this spring element into the top triple. It is meant to allow the forks to deflect a little bit perpendicular to the ground in a deep lean. At that angle, you really don't have much suspension action. If you know vector geometry, then you know that in a deep lean, forces act up from bumps. So you need the flexibility of your system to help you maintain the contact patch and maintain traction. So this will allow a little bit more flexibility for the forks to do their job, but it will actually increase the torsional rigidity of all these components. I've increased the clamping surfaces here and here. Those are the surfaces that contact the forks. This will enable a better force transfer into these components and not flex the fork in this section. The spindle is designed so that it threads into this component, and then there's a nut that fastens it on from the bottom side and preloads that connection so it doesn't come apart. And there is also an aluminum nut on top that holds the top triple onto the entire assembly. These are the bearings here. These are actually the races that get pressed into the frame. The bearings go in them. And I've revised the clamping system just a little bit. Let me show you the bottom triple. Bottom triple will have slits inboard and 4 screws that clamp that together. This will enable this whole geometry to be
flexible in the planes I want and achieve better rigidity in the planes that I want to be rigid. These two holes you see here, those are for our steering stops. And even though I've used a thicker section here to get more surface area bit on the forks, I've webbed it out, and this is a very, very light component. On top, like I said, I have these spring elements engineered into this body, all webbed out from the bottom. I believe that this will be a very big improvement over the OEM setup. I have the weight calculated to be right around just below 3 pounds with all the bearings installed. So we're going to be shaving half the mass of this whole system and improving the handling a little bit. Now, this is a beta item. We've just designed it. We used finite element analysis to sort of optimize it before building it and testing it on the track in the real racing environment. I don't believe I will be releasing this to anybody before I fully test it and I have a couple of the team members put it on their bikes and run it around for at least a year. Once this passes, I think I will be releasing this to racers that want to shave 3 pounds and achieve all the extra performance parameters that I just talked about. That's pretty much it. We'll probably show it to you once it's machined. Don't think it's going to make it to our first event at Daytona. This is a pretty big undertaking that I got to a little bit late, and these things are being machined, but we have to put the bike together. So I don't know if you'll see it soon, probably a couple episodes from now. Thanks for watching. See you later.